Have you ever felt like you're just stuck? Stuck between where you've been and where you feel like you're supposed to be going. It's that feeling of being on the edge of something new, but you're not quite there yet. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive right into the heart of those critical seasons. We're going to try and understand this journey of transition and what it really takes to reach your own promised land, that place of bigger purpose and real impact. Let's get into it.
So, right off the bat, let's make this personal. I want you to think about your own life for a second. Your career, your relationships, maybe your spiritual walk. Do you feel that pull? That sense that maybe a new chapter is just around the corner? Because believe me, understanding these moments is what defines everything that comes next. You see, the material we're looking at today frames these periods with a really powerful idea. A transition isn't just random chaos, it's a test. It's this intentional process that's designed to get you ready for a whole new level of service, a new level of influence. In other words, whatever challenge you're facing, it has a purpose.
So, to put a finer point on it, a transition is really that internal process that prepares you for greater responsibility. This could be in your leadership, your finances, whatever. The core principle is actually pretty simple. How you handle the situation you're in right now determines whether or not you can be trusted with the next one.
Okay, so if transition is all about preparation, what does that training actually look like? Well, it's definitely not a straight line. It's more like a path, and it's filled with what our source material calls rites of passage, basically a series of tests designed to build your character and seriously deepen your faith.
And hey, this is not a new idea. This pattern is all over the place throughout history. Just look at these figures, right? Every single one of them went through these intense periods of testing before they stepped into their true calling. Joseph was in prison. Moses was wandering in the desert for 40 years. David was on the run. The lesson is crystal clear. The wilderness always comes before the promised land.
In fact, our source identifies 10, that's right, 10 specific, reoccurring tests that tend to show up again and again during these seasons of transition. So let's take a quick look at the whole list.
So here they are, and you can see how much they cover, from learning total dependence on God to finding a way to be faithful in the most boring, mundane, everyday tasks. Now, we don't have time to break down all 10, but let's just zoom in on a couple that are super common and honestly, really challenging.
First up, obscurity. This is the big one. It's the test of your character when nobody is watching. Can you still serve faithfully without the applause, without the social media likes, without any public validation? The idea here is that God can't really trust you in the spotlight if you haven't been faithful back in the shadows.
And then there's this one, and man, this is tough, the silence of God. What do you do when you're praying but you feel like you're not getting any clear signs or direct answers? This tests your ability to live by faith, to walk based on what you know is true, even when you don't feel that constant affirmation. It's about growing from someone who needs signs into someone who has substance.
Now, it's really important to remember that these tests don't happen in a vacuum. You're never going through them completely alone. And the people you surround yourself with during a transition, they are absolutely critical. They will either help you move forward or they will hold you back. It's that simple.
This table breaks it down so clearly. You've got 3 types of relationships. You've got protégés. These are people you pour into who are there to learn and grow with you. Then you have partners. These are your collaborators, the people you build with. But then you have to watch out for the parasites. Their motivation is all about self-promotion, and they will drain you. The key here, obviously, is discernment. Knowing who's who in your life is absolutely vital.
So, beyond the path and the people, your mindset is really the final piece of the puzzle. The source material makes this powerful distinction between an individualistic approach and a corporate or community-based one. How you see yourself in relation to others can make all the difference in the world.
This comparison says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the individual mindset. The focus is always me. They go out on their own. They look for information. But then look at the right, the community mindset. The focus is us. They aren't just going, they are sent by their community. And they're not just seeking information, they're seeking wisdom from elders and mentors. It's a totally different way of operation.
And this idea, it's anchored in Scripture. The source highlights this question from the book of Romans to really drive the point home. How can anyone preach unless they are sent? You see, the model isn't just to go, it's to be sent. Being sent means you're accountable to other people, you're supported by a community, and you're part of a shared mission. It's a powerful check against just letting your own ambition run wild.
So after you navigate the path, the people, and the mindset, where does all of this lead? Well, it leads to the destination. It leads to your own promised land, that new level of purpose and impact that it turns out
you were being prepared for all along.
This is such a crucial way to reframe the struggle. All the pressures, the tests, the opposition you face, they aren't designed to crush you. They are the actual curriculum of your training. Think about that. You may not have chosen the fight you're in, but the very fact that you're in it means you're being equipped for what's next.
It really all boils down to this simple 3-step progression. First, you are tested by challenges. Second, when you pass those tests, it proves you've been trained and equipped. And finally, once you are trained and proven, you are promoted to that new level of influence.
And notice the sequence there. It's cause and effect. The promotion doesn't come before the battle. It doesn't even come during it. It comes after. And during the process, that is the non-negotiable price for the promotion.
Ultimately, this entire journey, every single test, every relationship, every shift in your mindset, it's all designed to align you with your true purpose. It's not about just getting through it. It's about being totally transformed by it. So the real question to leave you with is this: are you ready to stop fighting the process and start embracing who you are becoming?